everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and I have a project life lessons video for you guys. I am running so behind on my blog, you guys. I am really sorry. I have been so very overwhelmed with just a lot of Stampin' Up! Business, and so because of that, I've just been struggling getting posts up, and I just thought I'd have a real moment with you guys and tell you I'm really sorry. I am really trying to get posts up for you guys. I have so much content already taped, waiting to be edited, waiting to have photos done, and I'm just having a hard time getting into this room. And we are starting a remodeling project in our home. We're remodeling our garage and making it my office and my office, basically my Stampin' Up! Office and craft room, and I fear that March is going to be exactly the same. So here it is, almost 10 o'clock at night. I'm a day late, but I did really want to address this issue with you guys. I want to talk about how I set up my albums. I always talk about setting my albums up a couple months ahead. So like my family album right now is set up through April, and I get so many questions from you guys, so many emails and comments about how I do this. And I've touched on it a little tiny bit, but I'm gonna really talk about what I do. So I have 3 albums here that I've done this with, and I wanted to start with my family album. This is the album that I am taking the most photos for. I'm really focused on the most all of the time. So I recently from Amazon I ordered these dividers. These are the Clementine dividers from the Clementine line, and I love them. They just really fit my style, and they go really well with the core kits that I use. And they were on clearance, or not clearance, they were on sale on Amazon for like $3 a pack. So I got like 5 or 6 packs of them. So that's the first thing, is I do use monthly dividers, and that's the dividers that I have chosen to use. And I just really like the idea of having these dividers in here. So I divide my album up into months, so you can see there's January, there's February. I share with you guys at the end of every month where my album is at. So I just shared with you guys all the way through week 8, and I've still yet to do all my journaling for February. So that's where my album is. So now we're getting ready to go into March, and what I have done is I have already set my March pages up. So if you see, what I've done is I either pick a 6x6 paper pad, or I choose a core kit, and I use that for the entire month. This way my month looks cohesive. It looks like it's all together. It flows really nicely, and it kind of keeps me focused for that month. So the other thing that I do is I decide if I'm gonna just make a title card each week, or if I'm gonna use a date card. And if I'm gonna use a date card, then I try to use it in the same manner throughout the whole month. So in February, I shared with you guys that I used this week card, and this was a date card that I purchased off Etsy, and it was the 4x6 and 3x4, and it wasn't very expensive. You can just search, you can go on there and search Project Life date cards or monthly date cards, and a ton of them will come up. I just liked the style, and so I purchased it. So here for February, you can see that I'm using this date card, and then it has the week that we're in all circled. And then so what I did is I made that the whole month of February. That's what I used. So here's week 5, here's week 6, here's week 7, and then here's week 8, and then that is how my month looks. So for March, what I did is I chose a 6x6 paper stack, and I'm currently in search of it. It is the Pebbles, I want to say it's the wood something. I'll pop it up on the screen. I'll look when I get done taping. I'm in search of another one. I got it at TJ Maxx, and I should have got 2, and I only got 1, and I've sort of ran out of cardstock. So I throw in my title card, and then I throw in my 3x4 cards, and then I always put in an 8.5 by 11 for my calendar. And then you can see I've just kept it the same. So here's week 9, and I will circle the dates on this particular card. It's not circled. So I do a title card, and then I coordinate my 3x4 cards. So I just keep going. See, I ran out of paper. That's why I'm in search of another one. I only had 2 designs of each pattern paper, and that wasn't enough. So that is March. So then here's April. So I go into April, and I'm using the Dear Lizzie Neapolitan core kit for April. And you can see that I've just done the same thing. I have my title cards, and then I've just picked my 3x4 cards, and I'm ready to go. So if I have time in like right now, February, I have not had a lot of time to do anything, and I fear that March is going to be the exact same way for me. So I will be able to just do photos. I take my photos every day. I try to take my photos every day. When I get them printed, if I can do nothing else, I can just slip them into the pocket and I can be done. This looks pretty. It looks pulled together. If I have to just handwrite my journaling, then I just choose to do that. I really just roll with the punches when it comes to our family album. I know the priority is to take at least 1 photo every day, and to keep good track of my journaling. So I have tools in my life that I use to do that. And then when it comes down to actually getting it in the album, if I have no time, then I just let it go and I put the photos in and I move on. If I have time, then I go back and I do some fun stuff, and I get my supplies out and I do some stamping, or I do, you know, I add some different creative elements. But the main priority for me is to get those photos into this album and get journaling to go with it. So that is our family album. So I do the same thing with my kids' album. So here's Kayla's album. And I just do a 1 month spread. I don't do weekly for my kids. I do like a January overview, February overview. So I do kind of monthly. So I still use the dividers. I currently, I'm using Mishmash dividers and Kayla's. I have some Jade, and then I think I have Cobalt in the back dividers. And I just pick one theme or one core kit for each month. So this looks like it's, I'm not even sure. Looks like this would be March, and I used the Craft core kit, and then this is a honey. This card is from the honey core kit. But I usually either stamp or write in the title card right here the month. So this would be like March 2013. And then I kind of do just an overview of what has happened. You can see I'm still, like, I'm missing a photo there. I'm missing a few photos here and there, but I recently went back and did all my journaling, and I just hand wrote all my journaling for my kids' album. I'm not really typing out their journaling at this point. I add memorabilia. Here's July, and you can see I have 2 photos that I need to do, and I have journaling and, you know, month documentation to do. So then, like, back here, here's September, the start of school. So I have some more of her school stuff. I have an insert for a field trip that we went on. A special schooling thing that she did. And here I have, this is just the pocket, and I have some school stuff right in there. It sticks out of the pocket. You can see that towards the end of this last year, beginning of the year, I've not kept up really great on her album, but I know that I will be able to just very quickly get this caught up. So I keep multiple years in one album for my kids. So this was 2013. I just end it with a 12 by 12 piece of designer paper. I just stick it in there and cover the whole thing up, and then I do a title page with a tab that says 2014. I've not filled any of this out yet. Here is January, here is February, and then again, February I have a couple inserts, or January I have a couple inserts, so we do February. So this is really what it looks like. So February, I have done a title card. This was from Fifth and Frolic, and then this was all different. Like, this was Craft. This might have actually all been craft. I think it was in the middle here. So here's February. Here's March. Here's April. May. June. July. August. Now September we'll start school again. So I have stuck in here a 8.5 by 11 insert, a couple school related cards, because I know during that time I'll be wanting to do that. And then that is, oh, and then I have an extra insert in here for September. So then October is as far as I got in setting up her album. I probably got interrupted and didn't finish doing the rest of it. But now I know that it's very easy for me. I'm doing the photos, and when I'm slipping them in the pocket, if I come to a place where I have the photos and I'm putting them in the pockets and I have a little bit of extra time, I'll go finish out October. So then I also keep in the very back a big envelope page, and this is just from the last couple years, stuff that wouldn't fit in her actual album. So I would venture to say that I'm probably going to get about 2 years in this album, and I'm okay with that. That's a good amount. And so I'll just do, you know, I'll start 2015 in another album. So the only other thing that I have is when I do a mini album. This is Andrew's album for this year. He's 2. And so I wanted to do an album this year for him, and I've actually just set up the whole album. I used the vintage travel core kit, and it was, obviously I felt like it was more boy colors and themes, and so I felt comfortable just using it. And most of the core kits, I would venture to say, have a really girly feel to me. They just feel very girly, and I love them, but I'm really struggling to find something that is more, that will fit a boy. So I used the vintage travel, and you can see I've just set up the whole album, and I just have sticky notes that say February, this is March, April. I'm having to shift things around a little bit because I ended up with more photos for, I think for January or maybe February, ended up with more photos. But it's been very easy to just move that around, get those photos in the album, and then I'm not stressed about it. Like, I know I can just get these photos and I really don't even have to think about it. And I run into the issue with Project Life where I'm so caught up. I really will want to do something. I'll want to scrapbook or do Project Life, and I will not have anything to do because I'm so caught up. So one of the things that I do when I'm in that mood to do something is I will go ahead and set my albums up and get ready for another, you know, it's ebbs and flows for my life. Sometimes it's really crazy and I can't get to my album, and other times I have, you know, a good chunk of time where I'm working on it every week. So that is what has helped me be successful. It is my #1 tip to keeping up with so many different albums, is to set them up ahead of time. So I would love to know if that works for you, if you're doing that, or what you think about that solution or that process. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So I really enjoy getting your guys' feedback about where you're at with your albums, or what works, or if I have a system that I'm sharing and you tweak it a little bit. I love hearing all of that. So thank you guys so much for coming by, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Project Life Lessons, and I will be back later this week with more projects, I hope. Thanks guys, have a great day.